Do you guys remember when 99% of sports shows on TV weren't completely garbage? I sure do. Here are my top 10 sports shows of all time. Shout out to Grind City Media for the idea, and I'm not counting any shows that actually broadcast the games like NFL Red Zone. At number 10, this might be a hot take, but I have E60. Objectively, E60's more big brain than pretty much every other show on this list, but that was kind of the whole point. I find it kind of patronizing that most sports media these days is just two guys yelling at each other, and I actually think most sports fans would appreciate more thought-provoking content from these major networks. At number 9, I have Sports Nation. I'm talking about original Sports Nation here, with Michelle Beadle and Colin Cowherd. When it came out, this show just really felt like it had a pulse on the internet age, especially because of the emphasis on fan involvement. At number 8, we have Around the Horn. Shout out Tony Reale, shout out Mina Kimes. Admittedly, the show did end up growing a little bit stale, but I think in its prime, Around the Horn was the perfect balance between people yelling at each other and actual thought-provoking journalism. At number 7, we have Baseball Tonight. As someone who has cared very little about baseball for a grand majority of my life, Baseball Tonight was objectively one of the most fun shows to watch on ESPN for a very long time. Honestly, it was the most accessible way that I've ever seen baseball presented, as opposed to the if you don't get it, you don't get it snobby way that baseball is often presented in. At number 6, I have NFL Countdown. Chris Berman may very well be the greatest of all time. His various characters, catchphrases, and punchlines are ingrained in American sports history forever. At number 5, I've got a dark horse, República Deportiva. Everybody I know who grew up watching soccer grew up watching this show. Regardless of race, nationality, language barriers, whatever, this show spoke the two universal languages: ball and baddies. At number 4, I know you've been waiting for this one, Inside the NBA. What this show specifically, but all the shows on this list prove, is that you simply cannot fake chemistry, especially not in a live TV setting. At number 3, near and dear to my heart, College Game Day. College sports are about expressing, sharing, and celebrating rich cultures from underrepresented communities all over this great country. And no show has ever truly captured the essence of a single sport like College Game Day. If you've never made it out to a live showing, put it on your bucket list. At number 2, my goats, Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser, give me PTI, the opinion-based studio sports show. Argue with the wall. In a world where every show is about who can drum up the hottest take, PTI's perfect pairing and formula has never waned. For honorable mentions, I have Outside the Lines, highly questionable, The Herd with Colin Cowherd's usually pretty good, First Take before it went downhill was a gem, and Sports Science was awesome as a kid. And number 1, Sports Center. I've watched more hours of Sports Center than probably every other show combined in my entire life. And while I don't really have time for daytime Sports Center these days, I think Scott Van Pelt in the late night edition of Sports Center has really shined these last few years, especially the Bad Beat segment with Stanford Steve. But that's just my opinion. Let me know your favorite sports show of all time down below in the comments.